Good morning, guys. Good morning. All right. Okay. See, just one more, just uh, one more concept we'll do today. Okay, so that from Monday we can actually start with our syllabus. Um, See, yesterday we were discussing this, right? So it was we're done with our time, and I stopped here, right?
Ravi, if you don't mind, actually, yesterday, unfortunately, I was not able to attend the class. Can you brief this lecture?
Um, See, what I would suggest is that if anybody missed the class, guys, please go through the video, okay? Otherwise, it will be just repetition for everyone. Uh, but anyways, yesterday's one, let me do it little quick again, um, because what we were trying to understand yesterday is that how this infrastructure has changed in last 15 to 20 years. The flow we were trying to catch that, and even few kind of terms that I'll keep using in the course. I was trying to give an idea about that. So little quick. So I told yesterday that going forward, anytime I use word bare metal, it means I'm talking about a physical machine. Then I told that you want to use the machine. You all know we need to install an operating system. If this is a server operating system, then we call this machine as a server. On any server, or to that matter, any machine, what is uh, you know more so server? Okay, maybe if we take a desktop also, probably we can just use it for doing any other things. But at least on the server, the main thing why we set up the server is that we want to run some application on top of the machine, right? So whatever money you have spent, all these things, the value what you get in return is this. This is what you want to run. When I say application, that could be literally an application, or it could be any database, or it could be any ERP system, anything, right? That is we want this to be running. For that, we have taken a machine and we are running OS on that. Then I told that you know around 10 or 15 years back, somewhere in a time frame of 2009, 10, from that time, in virtualization concept came in, and from 2008, 9, 10, more so from 2009, 10, that time frame, everyone started using this virtualization technology. So virtualization is a technology, right? What happens here? You take a machine, you take a machine, your bare metal, this bare metal, you will install virtualization software. Virtualization software is called as hypervisor, and what it allows? It allows you to create VMs. This is called full virtualization. What is full virtualization? Where you take a machine and you install your hypervisor and you start creating VMs. Inside this VM, each VM is like a machine now, like this machine. You have to again do your installation. You can choose your OS, you can install it here. You can choose your OS, you can install it here, right? Similarly, if you want to use virtualization for on your desktops, or let's say on your laptop or on your workstations, in that case, what will happen? Let's say if you have your laptop, okay, this is my laptop. I'm already having a OS installed. Let's say in my case, Windows, it could be Linux, Mac, anything. I- On this now, I want to create VMs. So I need to install virtualization software. This is called again hypervisor. You can create your VMs. What is the most popular one here? I told you the product Oracle VirtualBox. So now this is the setup what each one of you will have for doing the lab, right? And this is called desktop virtualization, or you can give a name whatever you want. You can call it as a desktop virtualization, or workstation kind of virtualization, whatever it is. So how are we going to set up our lab? For the first topic, two topics, okay, Linux and Ansible. Each one of us are going to install Oracle VirtualBox on your laptop. We are going to create virtual machines in that, and on that we will practice those topics. When I go to AWS, there these virtual machines we will be creating on AWS cloud. Okay, and rest all till the end of the course, probably I'll just use it there. You will understand the flow why I am taking this approach, that first you create VMs on your machine, practice there, then we'll get onto the cloud and go. Okay, you'll see the reason as why I have taken this approach. It could be, I mean, actually it will be very easy for me if directly on day one I go with AWS, start creating machines and all that. But this one, the advantage what you will get with this is you will you will literally understand what VMs are. Once you understand what VMs are, how to do the OS installations on that, how to work on that. When you go to the cloud, you'll understand very easily what you will do on the cloud. Okay. The other thing is that you'll get a kind of a feel if your company is having on-prem. I told you yesterday on-prem, right? What is, whenever I use word on-prem, what is the meaning of it? Meaning is that that company is having its own data center where they have their own servers. On that, probably you'll create your VMs and the company is using it. Right? On-prem means company having its own data center. So this went on from 2000, roughly around 2016 or so. Okay, one more change has come. Now, what is this change is this? So 2001 we have seen virtualization. Everybody started using virtualization. From last 4 to 5 years, little bit of change has come. Now, what the changes is? See, today a company hires me. Okay, they tell that they have some 10 developers, some 10 testers, and they are running some application. And they say me that Ravi, we need to create the infrastructure for our application, for our development. Okay, in this case, when I'm saying infrastructure, I'm just taking the creating of VMs. But when you use word infrastructure, it is not just VMs. It is VMs, network, storage, security, everything combined together. We use the word infrastructure, right? So what is the changes? I've been asked to create an environment where that application development can be done. And once I see the kind of application they want to run, I tell to them that, okay, I need four machines uh, to support this kind of an application. Okay, so they gave me four machines. I take four machines. Okay, I take four machines. You take machine, one machine has to talk to the other machine, then you need to physically connect it, right? So I'll take a switch. I'll take a cable. I'll connect it to these four machines. When you physically connect the machines like this or devices like this, then this is called a network. Whenever I use word network throughout the course, right? What I mean is those are connected. If you connect these four machines, now I can call it as a network. Now, this is my network. Okay. If my network supports these features, what are those features is, first is self-service. Okay. Next is elasticity. By the way, my spellings and other things, take it easy, guys. Okay. Um, Third is called pooling. Next is called billing. And I'll just put it, let's say, broad network connectivity, something like this. Okay. Network, I'll put it like this, or if I anytime write anything like this, the meaning of this is network. Broad network connection. If my network supports these five features, my network can be called as a cloud. What is a cloud, guys? Cloud by itself, there is no definition of what a cloud is. Okay. According to Wikipedia, if your network supports these five features, you can call your network as a cloud. What is the meaning of self-service here is, okay, if you see here, I told that you can create VMs and all this right here in this virtualization. But generally, what used to happen is, I mean, even now, a lot of places it is just a virtualization only. What happens here is, let's say there is a developer, he needs a machine, then he'll go to a Windows admin or let's say even a DevOps team or a Linux team, some system administration team, and he asks them, see, I need a machine, I need a machine to for so and so purpose. Then these guys, what they do is they will create that VM and they'll give it to him. Okay. S- Whereas the moment I say, my network is a cloud, what it should provide is people whoever want to create anything on that network, they should be able to do it by themselves. So if you have a network in your company like this, how can you make it a cloud? Okay. What you can do is, one approach, what you can do is, on all these machines, five machines, let us install virtualization software. What is that? Hypervisor. I told you one of the popular uh, hypervisor in the market is, there is a company called VMware. They have a product called the XXI, and that is a very very popular product and in a kind of a market leader. Okay. So what I'll do is, but there are a lot of other tools. There are a lot of other softwares also. S- Citrix, there is a company, they have a product called Zen Server. Red Hat or Linux has a virtualization software called KVM, or in the older versions that was called as Zen, you know. So each OS has their own lot of virtualization softwares there, but the market leader is this VMware. So what I will do is I will install this hypervisor. I'll install this hypervisor on all these four machines. Okay, hypervisor. Now I need to do something, you know. What I have to do, I'll tell you. But eventually, what should happen is I should give a kind of a dashboard or a screen like this to my users. So whoever wants to create, they'll say, see, I need a VM with so and so details. He mentions it here, and the VM should get created on one of the machines here. What you have to do will come down to that. But what should be the result is this. Anybody, whoever wants to create VMs or anything on these machines, in, when I say anything, I mean it could be a VM or it could be adding a storage to that VM or creating some kind of a network devices. There are something called load balance and other things. Those we should be able to do it. But for now, for today, let's take it only VM. So my end user should be able to create his VM on any of the systems. Okay. Second thing is this user when he needs to create a VM, okay, it should not be that this user goes and sees on these four systems where there is a space for resources, and there he should create a VM, right? But we should not give that headache to him. Okay, he should not really go and keep checking on which system it has to create. You have to do some kind of a magic where what happens is he tells to create a VM, it should get created wherever the resource free resources are there. Okay, that no kind of manual thing, meaning that he should not go and scout for it. Go to each system and see, okay, whether that it is having resources for me to create or not. Now, what I mean by resources is, let's say this system has this system, let's say is having 18 GB of RAM. I'm just taking RAM to give an example, and let's say this is having 8 GB of RAM. This is having 8 GB of RAM, okay, and this is having 8 GB of RAM. So now let's say, I created one VM, it got created here, and this VM is using some 12 GB of RAM. Next time anybody creates a VM and they say that, I need some 7 GB. So where is the 7 GB RAM available in all these machines? On these three machines, right? So VM should be created here, somewhere here, not on this system. But this guy should not go and do that kind of scouting, where that 7 GB is there. It should automatically happen. Something you should do so that, you know, it goes and gets created on the system where the free space is there. Okay, that is what I mean by self-service, right? Second thing is this elasticity. See, yesterday also I was telling what is the power of a virtual machine is you can increase or decrease your resources, right? Meaning that you create a machine today with a minimal size. Tomorrow, if you think that you need more resources on your virtual machine, you should be able to expand it. That is called elasticity, right? Stretching it. So today I created a VM with 12 MB and tomorrow 12 GB of RAM. And tomorrow, if the user wants to extend it to 14 GB of RAM, as there is still a free space, free memory there, he should be able to expand it. That is called elasticity. This is the true power, right? Now, with virtualization, any resource you get this elasticity. It means later you can increase. But that is what make virtualization so powerful, guys. What is the main difference it has brought in? You can think small first, then later as the demand grows up, you can start increasing your resources. You see that, right? See, I told you on when only without virtualization, if you are buying a physical machine, the kind of approach was that you will ask, that there that time they used to ask the user that okay, what is the maximum capacity you think you need for your application. Based on that, they used to buy the machines. But once the virtualization came in, the kind of mindset is okay, what is that you need now? Future is okay, when you want, we'll extend it. You see, that is what is elasticity. So you'll really cut down lot of unused kind of stuff now, right? So even on a cloud, if you say your network is a cloud, you need to have this facility. Third thing I have put it here is pooling. What is the meaning of pooling is that when a user is creating, he should know, right? In your network how much free amount of RAM is there, free amount of CPU is there, and free amount of hard disk is there. One way is he has to go to each system and see, okay, on this system, some 4 GB of space is left. Here, 8 GB of RAM is there. Here, 8 GB of RAM is there. Here, 8 GB of RAM is there. He has to go to each individual machine and see, right? Rather than that, do something so that in the dashboard, in the screen itself, it will tell you, see the capacity remaining is RAM. What is the capacity remaining of the RAM in our network? 8, 8, 8, 24 plus we are already using 12, so 4 is there. So it means 28 GB is left out. Okay. Hard disk space, how much it is, CPU, how much it is there. It should be grouped as everything as one unit. Okay. So it means end user should not go and really keep seeing on which system what is there. It should show to him as if this whole thing is as one unit like this. Then what happens? He says, oh, I'm just having remaining 28 GB of RAM only. So maybe tomorrow, whoever is managing that, if he wants, he can go ahead and add RAM and other things. If you want to any of this system, or probably he could buy one more system and connect it to the network. That is called pooling. Means from an end user perspective, the whole network should appear as one unit, one setup, not as an individual machines. How you do that? Again, you will have to do that. How generally people do that will come. The next thing is billing. Next thing what should happen is in my network, if let's say there is a guy called Ravi and he created a machine, VM, and he is using it from last 4 days, then I need something in my dashboard where it says that Ravi was using this VM, so and so VM from last 4 hours or last 4 days. Then what? I can bring in a kind of an accountability, right? If it is internal to the company, then I can tell Ravi, hey Ravi, why did you create this machine? Why? He can give me a kind of a reason why he is using it. Or it could be that, you know, I can even price him for that. I can say, okay, he works for so and so team, so your guy is using so much resource, so we want you to pay this amount for us, right? So billing is basically if you want to ask him to pay, or even internally within the company, it is basically to bring in that accountability. Okay. And finally, I'm saying that broad network connection. Now, this is quite implied. No need to write it here, but still, as a part of definition, we are kind of listing that thing. So I have written it here. What is the meaning of broad network connection? Is you need to give a provision where user can connect to this network naturally, right? If user cannot connect to the network, he cannot create anything on the network. But still, you need to give some method where he can connect to this network. And so as I told you, some dashboard or something you need to give, so that he can connect to your cloud and create his resources. So if your network, you provide these 5 features, you can call it as a cloud. Okay, now understand guys, cloud is nothing but features. If these features are there, you can call your network as a cloud. Cloud is not a technology. It is basically just a kind of features. But what is the underlying technology under which this cloud is set up? The technology is your virtualization, right? Because of virtualization, you are able to create your machines and all that. On top of these virtualizations, you are bringing these 5 features and you are calling your network as a cloud. So how do you do that? If within your company you want to set up like this is where you have some very, very popular kind of uh, tools. Okay, one is OpenStack. Second is there is a kind of a tool called CloudStack, and there are hundreds of other tools like this. OpenStack, CloudStack, whatever you listen, right? What are those? OpenStack, CloudStack are the tools which you will install in your network so that it will give you these 5 features. Okay, all right, guys. Now I think somebody want having it down, but give me time. Let me do it now. Okay, now guys, now we got an idea that what a cloud is, right? So today, what I'll do, uh, I will. I live here in Hyderabad. Okay, so what I do is I rent out a place. I put some thousands servers, 1,000 systems. I'll connect like this. I'll virtualize all those things and I'll use some cloud tool. So that with that tool, what happens is anybody can come and create their own machines and do all the cloud kind of stuff. So I created a cloud. Okay. Now I'll tell to everyone that guys, whoever wants to create your server, why do you want to spend time, money, effort to buy a physical server, do the installation, and do everything by yourself? Wh- What instead, what you can do is you come to my network, you create your VMs here and start using it. Based on how much resources you are using, end of every month, you need to pay me that particular amount. My customers are also happy that they don't need to spend time and all that, buying new physical machines and all that. Rather, they can simply come to my network, create a machine, start using it. Right? Great business, right? These kind of clouds are called as public clouds. What is public cloud, guys? Where the end user can be anybody. He could be a person living in Hyderabad, he could be a person living in US, he could be a person living somewhere in South America, or anywhere. I'm saying anybody. I don't care. I mean, a customer can be anyone. So that kind of clouds are called public clouds. So catch it here. Huh? When you read your any documents and other things, you will see that they'll say public cloud, they'll say private cloud, they say community clouds, and a lot of names they give, right? What is the meaning of this public, private, community, and all that? Is you need to see from the perspective of your customer, or it's a way of telling who your customer is. When I say public, it means it's wide open. Anybody can become my customer. But in case I set up a cloud like this and I tell, see, only those people, whoever are associated with cricket, let's say cricketing kind of events, only those people can use my cloud, then I can say my cloud is a community cloud. Now, who is the community here? Only cricket playing kind of teams. Let's say there are some 100 teams in India or across, and each one runs their own application and all that. So I'm telling the guys, just come and create it on my network. So point I'm trying to make here is, whenever you see a word along with the cloud, immediately think about it. What? Think that this particular word is telling about who the customer is. Correct? On the similar lines, if I say that this cloud is a private cloud, what is the meaning of that? When I say it's a private cloud, I am saying this, that my cloud can be used only by a certain set of people. Generally, who are those certain set of people? People, working in your company. Only those people can use it. Nobody else can use it. Then that cloud is called private cloud. All right. So what are the popular kind of public clouds that you have it in the market? Market leaders. There is a company called Amazon, right? Their cloud is called as AWS. Microsoft also created a cloud like this. And what is the name they have given to that? Azure. Google also created a cloud like this. And what is the name they have given to their cloud? GCP. These are all public clouds. So if you want, you can go and create your VMs there and start working on it. This is a huge business, right, guys? Right? So as a part of the course, what is that we'll focus? This, this. Okay?
Can we consider previous picture? We can consider as a private cloud, right?
Absolutely. This is a private. I was coming to that. I was about to come there. So this is basically all throughout when I was telling this is a private cloud. Not necessarily this has to be a private cloud. If you make it wide open, it is a public cloud. But the example I have taken here is basically because I was telling that I was setting it up for a company, then it becomes a private cloud, right? Okay. Now, if you tell, hey Ravi, this seems to be nice, right? OpenStack, maybe we should learn that, and so that we can set up our own cloud and all that. Okay. See, OpenStack also, if you see, a lot of companies use it. Previously, when in Visualpath also, initially 3-4 years back, we were doing these OpenStack trainings, and later we felt that it's okay, and we didn't. I think we stopped doing it later. Why I don't suggest to a lot of people to do this OpenStack? Another thing is, see, the problem with this OpenStack is, if you want to learn this kind of that OpenStack or CloudStack kind of tool, you need to come with a solid experience of system administration so that you can do it easily. That is also learnable, and and it's very easy to do. But problem is, in terms of opportunities, it is very, very less. See, imagine, let's say, uh, I'll take an example of Hyderabad itself. Let's say there are some 100 companies here. Leaving 1-2 companies, rest all companies, there is no kind of a conflict of business with Microsoft or Amazon, right? So it meaning what is the meaning of this is, a lot of businesses, they don't really compete anywhere with Amazon or a Microsoft. So though the companies don't mind going and directly creating their VMs on Amazon and other things. But tomorrow, let's say Walmart is there, okay? Uh, yeah, maybe Walmart or some big kind of company who is, you know, trying to do a business exactly like Amazon, uh, like their e-commerce kind of business. then that guy probably will not go and create his VMs and his whole infrastructure on Amazon data center, right? Or Amazon cloud, because they're both of them are like kind of kind of rivals on in the market, and naturally you don't go and trust and do your thing there. So what he'll do, he'll say, okay, let me create my own cloud internally, and he'll create it, right? So leaving that kind of huge companies, like I think maybe I'm just taking, I don't know, I'm just taking an example, something like Walmart's or Verizon's or some huge companies like this. Uh, rest all companies, what they do is, instead of taking this headache of creating their own private cloud and other things, the simple thing is go ahead and start using one of the public cloud, and lot of headache is gone. They will manage the whole network for you and all that. Your job is just go create your machine and start using it, and the day you feel that you don't need to use it anymore, you can just dismantle it, right? And done, you don't need to pay money. So you see, for kind of startups and those kind of companies, this becomes their exit strategy. When they don't want just exit, they want to exit out of business, just go destroy your VMs, done, right? Otherwise, instead of creating machines on this cloud, if you have literally bought new physical machines and you would have spent 1 crore rupees to do that, let's say 25 lakhs per one machine, four machines you bought it. After 1 year, you feel that your business is gone. You don't see any brighter prospects there. You want to wind up your business. And these four machines, if you put it for a resale, you will not even get 10 lakhs also. Forget about 10 lakhs, 2, 3 lakhs also you will not get it. Whereas the moment you embrace cloud and you create the machines here, you're not spending 1 crore on day one. Those four machines, every month probably you'll be spending some 10,000 rupees. 1 year, 1 lakh. After that, you see business not going well, you just destroy your VMs and come out. You see, right? So this is what is the focus, guys. So how did the things move from the physical machines, from the physical machines or bare metals, where individually for every application we are setting up a machine like this. We went into the virtualization world, where within one physical machine we were creating multiple VMs. And what is the thing that we are in the phase now? We are in the phase of cloud now. What is cloud? Doing things, five features what I told, but the most profound point among those five is self-service. So you want to create your VMs and other things, you should be able to do it by yourself, right? And now you see everywhere it is cloud, right? Private clouds are public clouds. So if you are in a huge company, they might have their own cloud within the company, and that is called a private cloud, or in a general context, if the cloud means public clouds. So this is how the infrastructure has changed in the last 15 to 20 years. So when we start learning our tools now, and all those tools, the way you should see is, or let me make it a little more clear. The tools, whatever we discuss in the course, that could be Ansible, Terraform, or Jenkins, and all this, they will work irrespective of whether your company is using physical machines for every application, or every machine they are using it as a VM, or if they are on completely on cloud. In all the three cases, all your DevOps tools will work. All your DevOps tools will work in all the three cases. So today, if you are applying for a company and that company is completely on-prem, what is meaning of on-prem is they have their own data centers. They are not using any cloud kind of stuff. Even then, these tools, whatever we discuss in the course, you can use it. Let's say you go for a company who is having 50%, they have their own servers, and 50% of their applications are on cloud. Even in that case, you can use these tools. Or you go to a company who is 100% onto the cloud, even that case also, you can use these tools, right? So nowadays, small and mid kind of companies are completely in this. What they're doing completely on cloud. I mean, some kind of a big kind of companies, what they're still doing is, uh, s- you know, it might be, this kind of an environment where little they have it on-prem and little on the cloud. Okay. All right, guys, I think these guys are having a little bit problem. Guys, please, this looks little silly. If details are asked, please go ahead and give, guys. Otherwise, it's unnecessary wastage of everyone's time, right? They're just sending me a message that no, we are asking for some details and nobody are giving it. Please don't delay that kind of stuff. It's unnecessarily. It's just a clear thing. You like it, you want to do it. You don't want it to do it, and then drop it off. Simple, right? Anyways, guys. So this is the flow, right? This is the flow. So now what we will do? I want you to go this flow. So initially, what we will do? We'll work here. Then we'll go and work here. How will we work here? As I was telling little while before, what I will do is I'll make each one of you. This is a virtualization software, guys. Oracle VirtualBox. I'll make each one of you create VMs like this. 2 VMs is enough. 3 VMs is great for us to practice Ansible. I'll make you create this VMs on your laptop, okay, and practice things here. Once we are done with Ansible, then I go to AWS. These same machines I'll show you how you can create in your in AWS. Okay, and we'll see all those tools. Okay, so this is the first thing I wanted to say, but and now I think we're all set to start uh, with our uh, actual syllabus, but we'll start it from Monday. All right. Anyone has any questions, guys, uh, regarding this flow or anything? So, because we'll start it from Monday. Anyone has any question, you can go and ask.
I think Ravi, not with the flow, but if you could explain in brief self-service, I think I've missed it. I
No,
see.
if somebody was asking about self-service, right? See, what is the self-service is this? See, for a long time, what happened before this concept of cloud came in, virtualization also people were using it, right? Like 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, even now also they're using it. The way it used to happen is, if a developer or somebody needs a VM, they'll go and ask, say, either, whoever is managing these machines. Generally, these machines and all that are managed by your Windows admin or Linux admin kind of teams. So if a developer or somebody needs a VM, he'll go and ask that particular team, telling that, can you create a VM for me? So they create and they give it to him. But the moment we are telling that we are our internal network, we are converting it as a cloud, it means that you are giving some kind of a provision where a, someone who wants to create his machine, he should be able to do it by himself. No need to go to somebody else and ask him to do it. That is what is self-service. It means you want to create a VM, you should be able to do it by yourself.
Okay.
Now, how to do that is what your cloud should give you. That some screens or something so that you can do it by yourself. All
Okay.
right.
So
So
that means,
the
I
moment
mean,
that we
basically creating their own environments on their own is what you were saying.
Absolutely, yeah. There
Okay.
won't stop. Anything you want to do, you should be able to do it by yourself. So actually, I was telling it from the point of the guys who are setting up the cloud. But I'm telling that you need to give some kind of a setup where people can do it by themselves. some screens or something, give it so that they can do it by themselves. They don't need to come and ask you. See, it is this way, right? If we don't have self-service, and if Amazon has built this big cloud, and I want to create a machine here, then I have to send an email to Amazon saying that, hey, Amazon, can you please create a VM for me? And this is the specification. Then Amazon will create, and we should use it. The business is gone. Every day they'll get millions of requests if like this. But rather, what is the option? They give us a kind of a screen from where their customer can go ahead and directly create it. You see that? They made it self-service. So that is what is the feature of cloud. Cloud is all nothing but a network which is having a self-service is a cloud. Cloud is not a technology, it is just a features. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Ravi, can you explain that broad
Hello.
network connection?
Oh no, that
Hello.
is a implied stuff. See, when I say broad network connection, see, if this is the cloud there, okay, for Amazon, they have set up this big cloud, right? They should give some provision where we can connect to the cloud, right? Otherwise, how I can do? I cannot do. So I was just listing out the stuff, saying that something you should do so that people can connect to your network. For instance, you want to connect to the Amazon, right? The site is this aws.amazon.com. Inside your company, also for your cloud, something like this should be given so that you can connect to your cloud, because you want to create a VM or other things. First, you should connect to the cloud, right? In that sense, I was writing it there. Guys, one more thing, initial few days and other things, whatever I tell, just take it easy, okay? Because all these things we will see practicals. Okay? My idea here was to just put a kind of some broad level of concepts in
Hello.
place,
Can
so
you
that
hear me?
yeah, just give me 2 minutes, so that as I go forward, right, you will find it easy. Yeah, go ahead. Somebody were asking. Yeah, go ahead. Who was that? All right.
In on-premises data center. Okay.
Yeah.
On-premises cloud. So my meaning is that time I am using like AWS cloud or Azure cloud or GCP. Or just they create their own infrastructure like they are not using AWS or Amazon services.
So you are telling that if they have on-prem cloud, we should not tell it on-prem cloud. We can call it as a private cloud. Okay. Generally, the word is private cloud. Okay. Or on-prem cloud, whatever. It's okay. So you're telling if they have private cloud, can they use public cloud? Is that the question? Your voice is breaking. I don't know if it is for me or if it is for everyone. I couldn't really get the question what it is. Okay. Anyways, I think if, or you can type it, guys. When I stop, I look into the chat. If anybody has anything, you can. Okay. All right. I think. Yeah. I think you're back, right? Go ahead with.
Ravi, just a quick question. So, like, if
Yeah.
you could give us some glimpse on lift and shift philosophy that we talk of while dealing with
No,
this
no, no,
cloud
no,
on
no.
top.
No. It's not too early. If that lift and shift, we'll speak little later. Lift and shift is nothing but on-prem you have something, how you will migrate it to the cloud. One method is lift and shift. Okay. Actually, how you do that is a simple thing. The whole idea there is, when they say lift and shift, what is the meaning of that? Is that we'll create a new thing for you in the cloud and we'll copy all your data. That is what is lift and shift. Okay. Because
Okay,
there
and
are
then migrate it.
that is migration only, right? So today you have a database and you are moving to the cloud, and I tell, okay, we'll use a lift and shift method. What is the meaning of that? Is on the AWS or whichever cloud you are using, we'll create a database and we'll copy the whole data from here to there. That is lift and
Okay.
shift. Because in migrations and other things, not that everything is it's a simple way of telling guys that we'll recreate everything for you is lift and shift. Sometimes they'll say, we'll do a rehosting, or we'll do, we'll get into a redesign kind of things, and where instead of the way you are doing it on prem, we will suggest you a different way to do it here. But that I think will come later. What are the different uh, ways you can do a migration?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I think we have set the concept ready now. That for next first at least 40 to 50% of the course, our focus is this. Okay, how we learn this cloud properly. We learn our tools, Ansible, Terraform, everything in this structure. Similarly, when we go to CI/CD, I'll tell you the how the things have changed in last a decade or so, where from monolithic kind of designing we came into microservices and all that. So that upar GAN, on surface GAN is sufficient for that to understand the concepts. You don't need to do a deep dive. With that, you'll understand your Docker and Kubernetes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I think let's wind it up here. So what I will do is I'll speak to the front office guys. I'll send you two links, guys. Okay, or let me show it here. Okay, I think I'll show you. I need to little bit clean up these things. I'll send you two links. Okay, just download those links and keep it ready for Monday's class. Now, what are those? One is uh, this virtualization software. Okay, and the other thing is the Linux that we will be using here is CentOS. Okay, why we are using CentOS? I'll start it from Monday. About Linux, why, which kind of Linux you should use. I'll start it from there, and we'll take it. So I think for a week or so should be sufficient, or maybe uh, a little more than a week. First thing is in your syllabus, whatever Linux things are there, all that I'll finish it off. I'll finish your shell also there itself. All right. Then 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 we'll get on to the answer. So let's start doing it quite seriously from Monday. All right, guys.
The classes will be Monday to Friday, right?
Correct. Monday to Friday. I don't mind, Saturday, Sunday also little time you guys have. We can do it little bit more and do it, but that will make after 1 2 weeks once you feel comfortable and you feel that okay, this Saturday maybe we can have a
Absolutely.
yeah.
I think
So
once we
that
are in the flow, I think for at least 1 or 2 weeks, we'll obviously go with Saturday, Sunday even.
yeah. So based on nobody having objection, and even I'm also generally free on Saturday, Sundays, at least during this morning time. So we can do a little bit more 2 hour session like that we can do, so that um, before you guys lose your interest, before that momentum is lost, we should finish the course. That is a challenge.
I have a question. So can I get support for resume preparation and all?
See, resume preparation and all that, I think we have a lot of samples. Okay, but we should be able to get that. So for resume, what you'll do is, I don't know. I mean, if Sriveni or who spoke to her, can you once have a word to her? Just tell her that you need a little bit of resumes and all that.
Sure.
Otherwise, generally, yeah, otherwise, what is there? Simple thing I'll tell you based on the whatever topic we are discussing in the class. Take one point, you put it in your resume, else it will become 10 points. The idea there is not those points. The idea there is to tell that you know all these things. You are covering the whole spectrum of the things that a DevOps guy is done, and that itself gives a very very high kind of a vibes to the people who see your resume. They say, oh, this guy knows DevOps tool. He knows how to work on AWS. Oh, he's to be comfortable on Docker and Kubernetes. That is all what is required.
Ravi, we are discussing on interview questions also, right?
No. I mean, interview. See, what is the interview questions like that? I don't think there is anything called interview questions, right? What they'll ask in interview other than what we are discussing in the class. No.
I think
Got it.
yes. And Ravi, I think if you could give us a daily assignment starting next week, like
No.
Something that we could do it on ourselves, post.
No. What I'm telling is everything, whatever I do every day will be completely practical only.
That's
And I'll
what
give
I'm
you a
saying.
lot of
But at
assignments.
least,
Yeah, of course, right? That thing will be given. So otherwise, no point, right? So naturally, I'll give you a lot of those things. You will learn a lot
Ravi,
of stuff.
this is
No doubt.
yeah. How about the clarifications with respect to any errors or any doubts? I mean,
See,
mentorship.
one way is that I think maybe I'll just talk to that this. I think probably you can send it to them on WhatsApp or email and see, there are two things. Okay, one is naturally I'll have to answer any of the questions. Okay, what we'll do is those all question answer kind of session, we'll put it after 8 o'clock. Okay, so 78, give it purely for my delivery of things. After 8, I'm anyways free. I can discuss. One thing is that. Second thing is when you get any doubt or other things you can once talk to the Visualpath front office guys. We have lab faculties and everyone also there. So you call them there. I think they'll connect you with some lab faculty who will tell you where you got stuck up. But leaving all that aside, you can always ask me directly in the class also. After so 7 to 8, 1 hour, purely my time. After that, you can ask me. Okay.
Okay, Ravi. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. All right, guys. So, any questions, feel free and just make all your questions, clear it off with the front office guys who are talking to you, so that come with from Monday. I can go ahead with my guy without any kind of these things for 1 hour and keep moving. Okay.
sure.
All right, guys. Nice talking to you all, and let's meet on Monday.
Definitely. Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you. So.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.